Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
The sun hangs heavy over the Valley of the Setting Sun. The Valley of the Setting Sun is a Scion 2nd edition game set in Phoenix, Arizona, and starring Craig as Sir Nicholas, Slavek as Jesse, and Mitch as Gary. Join our heroes as they adjust to their new powers and navigate the tangled roots of the Scion community. Will our heroes be able to achieve their destinies, or will their bones be left to dry under the desert sun? You can reach out to us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night, where you can find a link to our Discord. Alright, so yeah, Jesse and Gary. Gary's.
I'm still here. There is actually one thing Jesse went to do and would probably do, and that is send Gormangander to spy on them.
Okay, so yeah, after you see a moment of Gormangander, he comes back, slip quickly sliding through like the feet and the various moving footsteps of the club. He goes up to you in your ear, just says, "Fey folk."
Gary's probably standing right there watching as best he can across the
and how's it going?
She is asking him what does he want?
That soon?
The fairy, they like deals. And especially
like a prostitute?
They can be. They can be.
Beginner's luck.
And ultimately he will, whatever he desires, he will have to give something in return.
Does he need our help?
No, I do not know what he wants.
No, he's fine.
Gormangander just says, it's very much like, depending upon what Nick asks for, it depends on what the price will be.
Right. Well, Gormangander, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Define stupid.
Something like
what you would do.
Soul. Yeah, his firstborn son, or something like that.
Got it. Then the Gormangander slithers back off. So back to Nick. All right, so yeah, you're finding it harder to resist just telling whatever it is. Just it's almost like your inhibitions are going away. You're very close to just saying what you want and what you're willing to give up for it.
Mm-hmm. So Nick says, "Yes, her. I want her, and I offer you my services for a year and a day.
Oh, so right as you say that, you see someone else sort of pop in, and it's another figure, like just as beautiful as Leah is, but it's almost like the exact facial features sort of almost like blur slightly, and so when you look at them, it's like you see a very attractive person, but like it's almost like the shape is changing to be more attractive to you. Exactly, it's almost like you're seeing like a layers. You see that there's like a normal, there's one face and then a layer on top of the other face. It's just something it's almost like Mel's face layered on top of it. And then the second figure just sidles up to you and sort of like tries to prise your hands away from Leah's.
I turn and look and see Mel's face and kind of let her
take
my hands away.
Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, you're dancing across with like with the figure wearing Mel's face, and then I can be with you tonight in the guise of Mel. Do you want that? Do you want a night with your love, even though you are far apart?
I kind of feel like this would kind of like the way she said in the guise of Mel rather than Mel.
Yeah.
That I think that would have sent like a kind of like a snap through Nicholas's mind.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll say that, yeah, you just sort of like wake up a little bit from your trancing and you see it's more like the layered images sort of fade, and you definitely see like it looks like Mel, but you still you remember seeing like there was a face underneath of Mel's face.
Nick sort of sees that and like kind of like suddenly stirs awake and says, I gotta use the restroom, and kind of tries to disengage.
All right. They'll try to hold on to you, but then you manage to pull away in time. Yeah, they said we will wait for you.
Yeah, and Nick is just like feeling like incredibly weirded out by what just happened, and it's not sure like if he actually made a promise and got something or not. He's pretty sure he made some sort of deal, and he's like doesn't know if he's able to like fulfill it or what he thought he might have gotten. So he's like kind of rushes towards the back room into the bathroom and starts like turns to the faucets and starts like splashing water in his face. And he looks.
Gary follows him quite closely.
He looks up in the mirror, sees himself, sees the door open, sees Gary in the reflection, and says, "This is a bad idea."
Gary locks the door behind him. No, Nick, you're just getting into gear. You got to roll with it. This is how you do it. You just dive in. If you keep, trying to tiptoe in, you're never going to get where you want to go, bro.
That was something else, though.
Weird shit happens. Like me. But, you manage. You roll with it. You learn from it. You get better. You got to put that massive sword of yours to good use.
Nicholas looks down and then looks back up. Yeah, sure, Gary. Whatever you say.
Go out there, give it a solid shot, and, worst case scenario, you end up in the middle of an orgy.
The thought actually terrifies Nicholas. But he kind of like nods and then like tries to escape because he's incredibly uncomfortable now.
All right, so now I'm going to say you're at a bit of a crossroads. So like part of you wants to go back and see what the allure of the Fae, but the other part of you wants to sort of just go break it off and just like go home and call Mel up your way.
Right.
So right now I'm giving you a choice. Which one are you going to pick?
Nick is just super uncomfortable with everything that's happened. It's like he's thinking about getting out of there, and like this is not what he had in mind when he was told he needed a practice.
All right, so it sounds like Nick is tapping out for the night.
Yeah, he's gonna call himself an Uber, go back to his castle, and
all right. So make a note, like shift your virtues one dot closer to chivalry. All right, so you deliberately chose between, since we decided what your pantheon's value would be, chivalry and self-interest. So since you deliberately acted more chivalrous and instead of your self-interest, I'll say you made a deliberate choice. So now you're shifting.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, yes, chivalry, like there's something that feels inherently wrong about this to Nicholas, but I mean, it's not entirely not self-interest.
But luckily it's as a storyteller, I get to decide what moves you or not.
Yeah, and when the Uber arrives, Nick's just gonna get himself, and like he's just gonna get on his phone and just try to find her on social media or something because he actually doesn't have her number.
So as you get in the car and it starts to pull away, you look back and you definitely see like two figures, and you see like a third one joining them. They watch you leave, and a part of you still like wants to go back to them.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like Nick's afraid, but he's also enticed by it at the same time.
Yeah,
and if he wasn't in a moving car at this point, it'd probably be harder to resist.
Also, Nick, you're driving back, and I'll say you can get Mel's number from social media. Do you call it immediately, or do you wait? What do you do exactly?
I think he's just kind of like looking at like her. I'm not sure what a good mythological themed like social media name would be.
The Book of Faces is pretty good.
The Book of Faces. Nick's looking at her The Book of Faces page and probably just staring at that, and like has a number ready but doesn't dial it, and he's just kind of like panicked at this point, and maybe he's not in the right mindset to do it just now.
All right, so Jesse and Gary, you both saw Nick drive off with the Uber. What are you guys doing?
Like I said, I reschedule all of his dates to the castle.
All right, so are you going to stay at the club yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the angry texts and phone calls to roll in.
All right. Jesse, what are you doing?
Jesse will go collect Gormangander, and he'll probably go to Nick's place, since he seems like he needs a friend.
All right, yeah.
Jesse, no, wait!
What, Gary?
I've arranged a surprise for Nick when he gets home. Let's have a few more drinks. On me.
Gary, as much as a few more drinks on you is tempting me right now, I feel like Nick really... Gormangander, how would you describe Nick's feelings right now?
It is hard to tell. Definitely when even as a Scion, when one is being seduced by the Fae, it can leave one off balance.
Right, off balance. So, just grab a six-pack, drink it with Nick, or whatever. So, you know what? Gonna give you 2 drinks. After that, I'm heading to the castle.
2 drinks and take a long time to grab that 6-pack.
Sure.
I'll say, yeah, Nick, you get back to the castle. Fine. And you definitely see, like, when you get there, there's some people, a couple of people already, like cars are pulled up to the castle, like, this, because the castle itself is, like, has its own plot of land all around. It's on top of a hill, essentially. So you see several people, like, standing on, like, the bottom of the hill, or, like, sort of looking around for someone. And you get out, they say, hey, so we're supposed to be meeting a Nick here? All of us, apparently?
Nick tries to hide his startled look and says, yeah, me too. Do you know when he's supposed to get here?
I don't. They check their phone. Wait. They look at the phone, look back at you. Wait, aren't you Nick?
No.
But your picture's right here.
And then Nick kind of just like tears off into the night.
Where are you running exactly?
Oh, he's fleeing because he's overwhelmed by this crowd at this point, and like, well,
so you're not running into the castle; you're just running away.
Running around, like trying to put some distance between him and like this crowd because he's incredibly freaked out right now.
Okay.
And,
so yeah, I'll say you start running off, and Gary, you start on the if you check the special Tinder account, you start getting some annoyed texts about being stood up and stuff. And so yeah, Nick, you run off, and I'll say it's still hot outside. It's September in Arizona. It's even at night, it's still like in the high 80s.
Yeah, Nick's gonna text Sir Kinrain and try to see if him and some of his entourage can kind of just like sneak him in.
All right, so yeah, I'll say yeah, you find yourself like near the canal. It's like a big canal running through the I think it's like from the Salt River. Actually, they used to run through the city, and now it's sort of like repurposed like this canal for the water. So yeah, you're standing near it, and as the presence of the water nearby sort of calms you down a bit, and so yeah, you call up your knights, and they like say, yeah, do you want them to like send them to someone to come get you, or do you want to go there yourself?
I don't know if maybe you could send someone out to kind of like calm down this angry mob. I'm not sure what they're so angry about. I don't know why everyone wants to see me all of a sudden. It's been a weird night. I don't know. Maybe like open a back door or something.
All right, yeah, I won't make a roll for this. I'll definitely say, yeah, you head back and you go up to the castle, and you see on the other side of it, you see like there are several cars, pulling up to the place, people getting into them. Some people, like a couple more people getting out. There's some talking amongst themselves. They look agitated. But then, yeah, you get back into the castle without incident, I'll say. So now you're inside alone with your thoughts.
Yeah, Sir Nicholas is kind of like ranging from like panic to like kind of like annoyance and a little bit of anger, and like back to just being a bit fearful. I mean, it's not like a supernatural fear or something, but he definitely did not like the feeling of being controlled like that.
But I forget the last session. Did you get Mel's number? Did you leave her yours? I forget which one.
I said I asked her to just check me out on. I think he said like tweet at him or something.
All right, so yeah, I also say yeah. When you check your phone when you get back inside the castle, you see a message from Mel. It says, "Hey, my ward started acting up. Might need some help."
Nick sees it, and he's like he's looking at it, and he's trying to like figure out how to interpret it, because like he has some innate abilities, but he doesn't really know magic.
And then yeah, I'll say you recall that back at the club, you did say something about offering your services for a year and a day to someone if they could get your Mel. Yeah. And you realize that only will apply if they can get your Mel. If, for example, her wards manage to keep them away from her, from doing her magic on her, the deal is null and void.
Nick messages back what's going on with them.
Mel says, I have just all kinds of set up against mental magic or various kinds. And right now, I think it might be Miss Hetty or something, because my anti-fairy guards are going a bit haywire right now.
And Nick is kind of like thinking like, oh my gosh, what did he do? And just responds back, I don't think it's Miss Hetty, but maybe, I don't know, could it wait till morning?
They'll last till morning, yeah, definitely.
And Nick is kind of like kicking himself because like he wants to go over now, but he also kind of thinks that it's going to be very dangerous for her and him if he does.
I'll say, Jesse. I'll say you pull up to the castle right now. You got the 6-pack. Next all with you. You had a couple of drinks. You kind of noticed that ever since you met your mother, it takes a bit more for you to actually get drunk nowadays.
Yeah. Okay. So do I see Sir Nick, or is he holed up in his castle right now still?
I think Nick said that he had snuck into his own castle and he was holed up in there.
Okay, so I'm there with all the people there. All right, Gormangander, we're going to need to make sure that, well, basically we want to clear this place out.
You hear Gormangander sort of whisper to you, you have power over the frost. You could summon a cold to drive them away.
And yeah, I assume all the skimpily dressed ladies will not.
And a couple of dudes.
And the dudes, of course. I mean, it's Gary. Will not like it when the temperature drops a couple degrees.
All right, so yeah, and for you don't have to pull the bow out, but you definitely will say you will imbue one legend. So yeah, describe how exactly do you bring the colds to the area?
Well, first of all, Jesse takes a very deep breath. And then he just exhales almost like a blizzard.
All right, and so with that, yeah, definitely, you start just blowing up this. It's almost like you could see your breath, but now the breath is causing the cold. The air sort of kicks up a bit of dust and snow pick up, and people around you, at first they don't really see you doing this, but then once they start feeling the cold and see you, they just immediately they start getting back into cars, clearing out. Pretty soon it gets very empty out there.
Don't even need air conditioning.
So yeah, now you have a clear path all the way up to the castle.
Yeah. Jesse's going to walk up to the doors, and I assume there's a knocker, so he's just gonna knock on the gate. Nick, you there? It's me, Jesse. I promise I'm not a fae, which in hindsight would probably something a fae would say.
Do I hear someone at the door, other than the dozens of people that were previously gathered out there?
I'll say yeah.
Okay, I'll ask one of my knights, Sir Arcade, to go check it out and make sure it's actually him.
Yeah, they report back that, yeah, it looks like Jesse. You got the snake too.
That's an important detail, because a lot of people have been looking like a lot of people lately. All right, if you're sure it's him, let him in.
Right, yeah, they open the door, and without invitation, Jesse just walks right in, yeah.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Nick is kind of built himself a blanket fort on the couch and is pokes his little head out from it. Is that I don't know, man. I'm not sure what's going on. It's got to be some sort of magic or something. I don't know if this is Francisco getting his revenge, or I'm pretty sure Loki doesn't know where I live, or at least one of them.
That just might be Gary being Gary. Anyway, I brought beer. Want some?
Sir Nicholas will kind of start swimming out of the giant comforter and says, sure, yeah, this has been a weird night.
Look, you have to understand. Gary, he does things in his own unique, special way. But just because Gary does things in his own unique, special way does not mean that Sir Nicholas has to do them the same way, okay?
And Sir Nicholas will use his party trick of using the crook of his elbow to open up a non-twist off cap and take a sip and says, yeah, that's it's probably the best advice I've had all day.
Well, I have a good advisor. I take a look at Gormangander.
And yeah, it just nods its head.
Yeah. Sir Nicholas will take another sip and say, frozen pizza?
Hell yeah.
And I'll say, yeah, right before you do that, you hear another knock at the door, and you hear it sounds like Leah's voice, and they just say, "Will you invite us in, please?"
No.
I look back over at Sir Arcade and give a no signal with my hands and arms.
Right. So yeah, they know enough that they're well versed in the rules of the Fae folk. So yeah, so Arcade he just turns back to the door and says, "You are not permitted. You are not granted entrance. You are not permitted on these grounds. Please leave." and then you hear like a howl of some kind. It's at first it sounds like a person, but then it just sort of shifts into like this very odd, inhuman pitch, and it gets louder and louder, and then it just fades away.
Yeah. Sir Nicholas is kind of creeped out, but like he's not game mechanics fearful. But
Yeah.
he kind of just like rubbing the hilt of his sword, just like because like it's making him feel at ease, having the powerful relic near him.
All right. So yeah, I'll say the night goes mostly uneventful. So Gary, do you want to see if you could roll this to snag someone to go with home with you, or what do you do? Or do you want to do that?
He's disappointed that his attempt to hook Sir Nicholas up didn't work. You know, he kind of figured if the first one didn't quite catch, one of the subsequent ones would. But apparently that's not how it worked out. So he's going to have a couple more drinks, and then he's going to make his way back home, trying to figure out how to actually get Sir Nicholas into bed with someone other than himself.
I ship it.
All right. So everybody wakes up the next day slightly hungover, but in otherwise fine moods. And so, yeah, you now have, I believe, 2 days till the Father of Knives incident becomes a thing.
I kind of see it like it's the outside of the castle, like early in the morning. The subtitles say 2 days till the end of the world, and there's just like retainer knights picking up garbage left from the crowd the previous night.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah. So do the three of you like get back into contact with each other? Like, what are you going to do before, what are you going to do first thing? Start with Gary. What are you doing first thing in the morning?
Gary's going to roll out of bed, take a shower, make sure he's all pretty, put on some nice clothes, check the Tinder account, the special Tinder account.
It's full of like, several angry, a lot of angry, disappointed, stood me up things. And
start making apologies and explain that, my big angry friend needed my assistance and kind of bogarted me for the night.
And you see a couple of a couple of accounts just say, if you have desires for deals, we will still be waiting.
I'm going to make note of those accounts.
All right. So now, Nick, what are you doing first thing in the morning?
You probably had a bit of a lie-in, trying to have some leftover frozen pizza from the night before, and like he's wondering like what they're gonna do, because apparently like some world-shattering event's gonna happen in a couple days, and other than we need to fight some trolls, there's not a whole lot of leads that the group has.
I'll say you'll pull out your phone and you still see like where you entered in Mel's digits. You still the number is still there. You haven't called it yet though.
No, he hasn't. I think he'll save it to his contact list, and then like I think maybe he tries to X out of it, but then accidentally dials it by mistake.
All right. So do you let it go through, or do you hang up before it goes through?
Oh, it's totally in his pocket, and he doesn't know it.
Okay. All right. So Jesse, what are you doing first thing in the morning?
I assume Jesse slept at the castle.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of what we got. Yeah.
So he's going to take a shower, find some food, and probably like strike a conversation with one of the knights.
All right. So yeah, actually, they start giving you advice for troll hunting. They say, I'll say it's Sir Arcade. He says, yeah. So the first thing to know about dealing with knights is that a lot of them, they're not too dumb. They're not going to win any science awards or anything like that, but they know enough to know a bad deal when they hear one. So if you're going in there wanting to deal with them, then you got to make sure that you give them something physical they can handle, something they want. They could, goat might do good. They also accept cooked meat. Maybe if you have a little bit of some money. If they want something, usually they like valuable stuff rather than just money. Say like a TV or some bit of jewelry. They like that better than that just dollar bills.
What about a fight? Do they like to fight?
Not so much. They're more of a kill the food then eat it kind of thing rather than fight the food. That's why they like the hide under like stuff and then get them by surprise. They're strong, but they also like to ambush.
Well, thanks, Sir Arcade. Not sure what kind of valuables we could offer, but maybe Gary will have a clue.
Yeah. All right. He just he like salutes you and heads off to do his nightly duties.
Gary will have to offer his body to the trolls.
Nah, he'll offer Nick's body.
Stop doing that.
But it's fun.
All right. So yeah, I'll do the three of you gonna meet up before you are you like gonna meet up and then head off. What are you guys doing?
Well, wasn't it? What was
Gary's
the-
going to make an unannounced trip to the castle.
All right. So you arrive at the castle. What are you gonna say?
He'll just walk in. He'll let himself in. Unless the door's locked.
It is locked, and you knock.
Nick! You gonna let me in?
Nick nods to one of the knights to let him in.
So yeah, the door opens, and again, Gary is able to just walk in without an invitation because he's not a fae.
Yeah.
And so yeah, what do you guys say to each other?
Good morning, Nick. Why didn't you get laid last night?
I'm not sure who some of these people are that you try to get me to practice on, but
It doesn't matter.
Sir Nicholas looks at Jesse and then looks at Gary and says, "Actually, Gary, I think it does matter."
No. It only matters when it's the person you're really going for. You get to practice with randos, and then, that way you're ready to dive in when the time comes.
Nick
Or you just have a good time, why not?
Nick's sort of like kicking at the carpeting with his shoes. Anyways, when was Kieran available?
I'll send him a message. He might be available today.
Kieran sends back a message saying, "Yeah, I have one thing to deal with, and then I'll be able to go and help you guys."
Anything we can help with?
Not really. It's a family, and it's family's in quotes issue.
Got it. Well, Kieran just needs to finish something off, and then he can go with us. So we're going to need something valuable to lure the troll in. Anyone got any ideas?
Gold.
Target gift cards?
Anything we actually have. Gift cards is a good idea.
A very rare and powerful brew of beer.
An IKEA bookshelf.
I'll give me a cunning and subterfuge roll, all of you, to see if you can figure out.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. I'm actually good at that. Jesse got 3 successes.
Gary got 1 success.
And 2 for me.
So just since Jesse had 3 successes, he knows that the gift cards actually will work for you giving them money, because you know that there are several ways to sort of finagle them to get actual money out of them, especially for the supernatural community. So it's almost like trading it's almost like trading another person's debt almost.
That's actually really cool. I like that. It's like a promissory note, which is kind of what currency is, but
yeah. And so with the supernatural, it's seen as almost like cryptocurrency for them. It can be used to get actual money, but they have to know how to use it.
And the idea of some companies create gift cards in hopes that someone never uses it or they lose it has that sort of mischievous thing about it, probably.
So yeah, so you get some gift cards to bargain with the trolls.
So Nick goes through and grabs a few cards that he has stashed around the castle from his last birthday. But yeah, they're for gas cards because he doesn't have a car, and a Target one he didn't get around to spending, and iTunes, which is half full.
So yeah, I'll say you get enough gift cards in a little pile that you feel like you definitely have enough to bargain.
Hold on, guys. Just to sweeten the pot, Gary's going to run out and grab some Amazon gift cards.
And in the world of Scion, Amazon is actually run by Amazons.
Yes, it is. It was actually it's actually a different kind of company. It's dang it. It's like the Hooters of the Scion world. Sometimes a man just wants to see a buff woman with abs. So yeah, the 3 of you head off to go deal with the trolls.
Scion is a very special story arc for me. While I was a Twin Cities by Night fan from the very beginning, it wasn't until I was invited to a Scion one-shot playtest that I got the opportunity to formally join the game. If you want to check it out, listen to Scion, A Light Extinguished, and its sequel, The Siege of Shadow Valley Ranch.